Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. What I'd love to do today is go through a book, a very interesting book, entitled Thinking 101, a book that was published on the 13th of September 2022 by an author known as Woo-Kyoung Ahn. Woo-Kyoung Ahn, just rolls off the tongue. I love that. And the question that we try and answer from the lessons from this book is, why do we sometimes make irrational decisions or fall continuously into the same cognitive traps? And this book offers insights into how our minds work and practical strategies to improve our thinking. So let's go through some of these points and see where it leads us. The first key lesson to come from this author is where we look at the cognitive biases that influence decision making. Our brains rely on shortcuts, or things known as heuristics, to make decisions quickly. But these heuristics often lead to errors. Biases like the confirmation bias, such as favouring information that supports our beliefs, and availability bias, overestimating the importance of readily available information, skew our perceptions. So recognising these biases is critical, as it helps us approach decisions with more objectivity. We look at another point, which is the power of framing. The way information is presented significantly impacts how we perceive and how we react to it. For example, a 90% survival rate sounds more reassuring than a 10% mortality rate, even though both of these statistics are identical. Reframing problems or situations can shift perspectives and lead to more productive and better outcomes. The authors here also talk to us about the illusion of knowledge. People often overestimate how much they know. This illusion can lead to very poor decisions based on incomplete understanding. Cultivating intellectual humility and a willingness to question our assumptions fosters more accurate and informed thinking. Something to think about. It's really powerful. We also look at why we misattribute cause and effect. We always seem to try and think that we can understand the cause and the effect. But what the author here is saying is that a lot of the times we misattribute it. In other words, we make it what it really isn't. Humans are wired to find patterns, even where none exist. Let me say that again, because that in itself is profound. Humans are wired to find patterns, even when none exist. This tendency can result in false cause and effect assumptions, such as attributing success solely to hard work while ignoring the other factors like opportunity or luck. Learning to critically evaluate correlations helps to avoid faulty conclusions. We look at the pitfalls of overconfidence. Overconfidence in our judgments and abilities can lead to some big mistakes and missed opportunities for improvement. By actively seeking feedback and considering alternative viewpoints, we can counterbalance this tendency and hopefully make better decisions. The other thing that the author here talks about, which is critical, is the role of emotions in thinking, because emotions, as we all know, can cloud judgment, but they also provide valuable information. Recognizing when emotions are influencing decisions allows us to step back and think more critically. Balancing emotional intelligence with rational analysis enhances problem solving in a big way. The authors go on to talk here about why do we resist change? And the reason for it is that our brains prefer the comfort of familiarity, often resisting change even when it's better and more beneficial. Understanding this resistance and reframing change as an opportunity rather than a threat helps us embrace new opportunities and possibilities to grow. We look at the importance of context in behaviour. Context often dictates behaviour more than personality traits. For instance, someone who acts kindly in one situation may behave completely differently in another due to environmental factors. Acknowledging the power of context prevents us from oversimplifying people's actions. And the last point to come from this book is the answer to the question, how do we improve our critical thinking? And the author here says that developing better thinking habits involves questioning assumptions, seeking diverse perspectives, and staying open to uncertainty, whilst also keeping an eye and understanding the various biases, distortions, additions, and deletions that your brain could be adding to the equation as well. Practices like reflective journaling or engaging in structured debates can hone one's critical thinking skills. So there you go. Thank you very much once again for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club. This episode today is number 1950. I've got 50 more vlogs to do to make it into the 2000 club. I just can't believe that at the beginning of COVID, I just had this wild thought of doing vlogging, and I thought that, I'll just do a couple, and that couple has almost come to a 2000 vlog inventory. Anyway, take care everybody, Yassas, And thank you once again for all your support, and I can't wait to get to 2,000.